been a big week, ChavezzSlovakia. Huge even. Massive even. Bigger than my pink. Why are you making that face? What are you doing?
Gonna be sour. I didn't know it was gonna be so sour. I'm so sorry.
You let a girl eat in a video once and she does it every time. You pick loud foods. Focus on the video.
I'm ready.
Zhang Zongchang, the dog meat general.
Zhang.
Zhao.
Zhang.
Zongchang. That's what I said.
You said Zhao.
You don't speak Chinese.
It's
you don't know.
salmonella.
And you don't know either, God damn it.
I'm very excited about this.
Salmonella brings the cockiest of historians to our video, and he's using stick people for people like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never heard of any of this shit. In American History Class 101, which is all of your high school career and the start of your college career, they teach you nothing. Effectively, zero things about history.
In 1776, we wrote the Declaration of Independence.
You don't say. So here we go. We're here to learn some more things. We've actually really enjoyed him teasing his comeback over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
We know he's here to stay. We know you're out there working real fucking hard, and we will receive you with open legs.
He's like edging us, but with history.
Exactly. We made that very sexual, and I'm proud of it. So let's get into it, ChavezzSlovakia. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is your mouth clear? Nice. Put your tongue back in your mouth.
Hey kids, today I've got another character study for you all, a man known as Zhang Zongchang. In 1881, he was—
Dude, I nailed that. I don't even know what your problem is.
You said Zhao.
I crushed that.
Today, I've got another character study for you all, a man known as Zhang Zongchang. In 1881, he was born into poverty in the Shandong region of China. His father was a head shaver, not a barber mind you. If a head shaver's a barber, then a ditch digger's an architect. He also moonlit as an alcoholic. His mom, meanwhile, was a literal practicing witch and exorcist.
That's
already
dope.
A recipe for success. Zhang joined a group of roving bandits at age 20, as one does, right around the Xinhai Revolution, where the Qing dynasty was overthrown and the Republic of China was established. But in 1916, the kidneys of the nation's widely disliked monarchist leader done shat the bed, causing a power vacuum that ultimately led to what is known as the warlord era of the Republic. During this time, different regions of China were constantly shifting hands between a collection of separate military groups, all of whom were ruthless both to each other and to the people they ruled over. And through charisma, favors to the right people, and a keen sense of military pragmatism, our humble highwaymen soon came to be one of these warlords. Now, Zhang was
That is so cool, dude. The story of warlords is something that is so interesting because we missed it in America. You know how cool it would have been if George Washington was a warlord? You know how dope that would have been? Oh my God.
You know who definitely would have been a warlord?
Stonewall Jackson.
I was gonna say, may he rest in hell.
Yeah.
Andrew Jackson.
Bro, you're talking about Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Stonewall guy. Like a guy from Mississippi.
Those aren't the same person?
Nope.
Oh.
One guy had a fortress that was impregnable. Unable to have babies.
sense of military pragmatism, our humble highwaymen soon came to be one of these warlords. Now, Zhang was quite skilled as a leader of war. After the Russian Civil War, he recruited thousands of fleeing white Russians, not beverages, but Bolshevik butchers, which bolstered his battalions and brought big bonuses to his bloodshed. He also made efficient use of armored trains, which proved to be highly cost-effective at transporting large amounts of troops and supplies. But that's not what you people care about. You want some clownage. Well, rest assured, Zhang was quite the character. Now, we all know the age-old debate between positive and negative reinforcement. On the one hand, if you treat people well, you'll probably get the same treatment back later down the line. But on—
Why did he draw them like that?
Yeah, he did the old meat canyon fingers. I like his inspiration.
I like that they have butt chins.
I like they're going, ooh.
later down the line. But on the other hand, nobody's ever taught a tiger to jump through flaming hoops with just pets and temptations. And if you think that's messed up, that's because, well, yeah, it is. Circuses are fucking evil. But like all great leaders, Zhang knew how to appropriately apply both the carrot and the stick. As an example of the former—
Real quick. Yeah. How did you learn about the carrot and the stick metaphor?
They had a pig, and they had the stick tied to the pig's back, and they put the carrot on the front, and it ran around the farm.
But I'm saying, like, who told you about it? So I was going to tell my story. I'll just say, I learned about the carrot and the stick metaphor from a series of unfortunate events.
What happened first? You stubbed your toe, and then you...
No, The book series.
Oh, of course you're a nerd.
A series of
course
unfortunate
it's a book.
events.
Yeah, yes. I got it.
How to appropriately apply both the carrot and the stick. As an example of the former, he defeated the forces of enemy General Wu Peifu largely by convincing members of his army to defect, with the promise that they could keep their original rank after switching sides, which he fulfilled. But then he was like, yeah, I don't know if my loyal men would be too happy about being outranked by strangers. Well, only one solution here. All my guys are ranking up. Yeah. Problem was, so many officers were promoted that Zhang literally ran out of gold and silver to make new insignias. He was like, I gotta think about this. Went out for a smoke, looked down, hey, wait a minute. And had the rest of the emblems made out of the colorful foil found in cigarette packages. It said that during the promotion ceremony, people would look down and notice their little star already had a rip in it before the event was even over. But hey, there's still a colonel or poobah or whatever now, they can't complain. On another occasion, he proudly announced that he would either win an upcoming battle or return home in his coffin. And though Zhang was many things, he was not a liar. So after he ended up retreating, his men paraded him through the streets in a casket while he waved and cheeked on a cigar. So you're probably wondering why they called him the Dogmeat General. At this point, my head was swimming with lurid fantasies about him eating dog flesh or wearing dog flesh or eating dog flesh. Turns out, nah, he was just real into pai gao, of which the act of playing was colloquially referred to as eating dog meat.
Zhang reportedly ate meat of black chow chow dogs every day, as it was popularly believed at the time that this meat would boost a man's virality.
Damn, I really was holding out hope that he didn't actually eat dog meat.
Also because he ate dogs. He was also sometimes jokingly referred to as the three don't knows, since he didn't know how much money he had, how many concubines he had, or how many men were in his army. Funny, there was some truth to the nickname, which did sometimes cause issues. Some were minor. For one, he had a lot of trouble remembering the names of the 30 to 50 women of all nationalities in his harem, but he got around this by just assigning them numbers. Number 4 is real flexible, 27 makes a killer bitch. Watch out for 14, she's a biter, and so forth. Other times,
Get the fuck out. He numbered bitches.
You know what?
That's crazy.
You should have numbered the Jessicas.
There's only 3 of them.
But you should have numbered them. In case you don't know. In case you don't know. In high school, my husband is what we would call today.
What?
A whore.
No! An entrepreneur.
He was a whore.
A poon.
He was a whore. That makes you sound like a pimp.
That's how it works.
He was a whore. Okay.
It was not.
And at one point in time, he was dating not 1, not 2, but 3 women named Jessica at the same time.
It's okay.
And 2 of them were friends. And they all knew each other.
They knew about it. It's okay. If they know, it's their choice. I was a nice fella. With a lot of virality. Versatility. One of those words.
Oh my God. Then you could have had it be like, whoever's Jessica number 1 and number 2 and stuff, then it changed. Like when I had my work boyfriend list and my ranking list.
You know what the problem is with the numbers is then 1 becomes number 1. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they have to be like random numbers and not know about it.
No, they have to.
You got to be like, one's got to be like 16, one's got to be like 40, and they can never know each other's number.
Like they do in football.
Because if you go 1, 2, 3, they're like, that's a clear tier system. I'm losing 3 off rip.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Watch out for 14, she's a biter, and so forth. Other times, things got a little more dire. Later in his career, Zhang became the military governor of the province of Shandong, and while the warlord life suited him, domestic affairs were another story. Rampant human rights violations aside, the whole thing was just way poorly managed. For example, while Zhang did
sorry.
What the fuck?
The hanging of dissidents from telephone poles. My God!
Several of his concubines have been forcibly seized from rich families. Oh my lord!
Human rights violations aside, the whole thing was just way poorly managed. For example, while Zhang did collect taxes on everything from theater performances to tobacco examination licenses, relatively little of his extortions went towards his war efforts or anything practical, with most of it being funneled into vanity projects and his own personal riches. So how did he fund his army? Well, for those playing at home, it's time to take a shot, because Zhang printed tens of millions of dollars worth of paper money in the form of military stamps with no reserve to back them up. Obviously, massive inflation ensued, but Zhang just said, insisted the stamps had a 1-to-1 conversion with real money and continued paying his men at the same rate. Fortunately for them, the invisible hand of the market is no match for the very visible fist of the soldier, because they just kicked old merchant ladies' asses till they accepted the currency at face value. But unfortunately, kicking old ladies' asses can't solve everything. In the summer of 1927, Shandong was hit with a famine caused primarily by drought. At the time, many people prayed to Zhang Xian, a folk deity, in an attempt to bring rain to these crusty lands. But Zhang Zongchang, he don't get on his knees for nobody. He walked right up to the statue in Xian's temple, starts bitch slapping it, tells it to go fornicate with its sister, and then has his artillery crew fire shells straight into the sky for hours on end to show that god who he's dealing with. Sources differ on when the next rain was, but it did eventually rain, so in the end, Zongchang got the last laugh. Speaking of which, our boy was also a renowned poet. Here's a piece he wrote about that very event. The sky god is also named Zhang. Why does he make life hard for me? If it doesn't rain in 3 days, I'll demolish your temple. Then I'll have cannons bombard your mom. Truly prophetic.
Shut up!
There's no way.
No, that's
There's
not
no way.
real.
There's no way.
Bro, it's just like, you can solve any problem with modern artillery. God damn.
As I like to say, violence is always the answer.
Bro, he's vibing with that.
He's got a few other good ones too. Let me just dim the lights real quick.
Please.
Okay, I'm ready.
This one's called Visiting Mount Tai.
Okay, start
From
snapping.
afar, Mount Tai.
Stop fucking snapping. You not finna snap to this shit.
Mount Tai. From afar, Mount Tai looks blackish, narrow on top and wide at the bottom. If you flipped it upside down, it would be narrow at the bottom and wide on top. I like that one a lot.
He's just a big idiot. He's a big idiot with fake money and real guns. That's the worst kind of idiot.
And just to be clear, as part of an ongoing conversation, he does not qualify as a himbo.
He said, it's small on top and big on the bottom.
If you flip it.
No. He went outside. He went for a walk. How could I finish this masterpiece? Wait a goddamn second. Flip that bitch over.
Put the thing down, flip it in reverse.
Oh my God.
Because it's like he heard about metaphors without realizing they're supposed to have a second meaning. This one's titled Poem About Bastards.
Oh.
You tell me to do this, he tells me to do that. You are all bastards, go fuck your mother.
He's a fucking genius. He's a fucking genius. Bro, if y'all have never been to Poetry Week at your local high school, you're gonna find gems like these there.
Local high school, local college.
Oh my God.
College slam poetry is not any better.
You tell me to do this. He was really working. He was really, look how uniform it is. That shit fits.
I love it.
Go fuck your mother. Go ahead, I'm ready.
But unlike most poets besides E.E. Cummings and Emily Dickinson, Zhang was quite well endowed. He was often referred to as General 86, as when Zhang Jr. stood up straight, he could reportedly reach the length of 86 Mexican silver dollars stacked atop one another. Given a thickness of 2.4 millimeters, this would put him at around 20.6 centimeters or 8.1 inches. That's especially impressive given that he was likely malnourished during puberty due to both poverty and the 1896 famine. You racists. I thought of a few other jokes about this, but I couldn't fit them in the narrative, so I'll just rattle them off. Should have been called the horse meat general. When he got out of the pool, he was General 12. This one just says dong hung dong. You get the point.
That's fucking foul. That's
oh my
foul.
God.
All great things must eventually come to an end. After suffering a series of defeats at the hands of his enemies and a subsequent failed rebellion against a quickly reunifying China, Zhang was forced to run away in 1928, bringing his mom with him to Beppu, Japan. His time here was relatively uneventful, except for when he shot a former prince in the back for trying it on with one of his concubines. In court, he said the gun just happened to go off while he was pointing it at the center of the guy's mask. For some reason, they're like, nothing suspicious here. Gave him the choice between 15 days in prison or a $150 fine.
Damn.
He chose the latter. Zhang's story finally came to an end in 1932 when he went back to Shandong not as a conqueror but as a visitor. Unfortunately, it seems it takes people more than 4 years to get over murder because he was unceremoniously assassinated by the nephew of an officer that he had executed.
He said, that's that motherfucking song. Stab him. Stab him immediately.
It was a pretty bold choice to go back anyway.
Bro, he was up there writing poetry. Like, bro, they finna like this shit, bro. I got a banger for him.
Jesus.
All in all, Zhang left behind quite a strange legacy. Given the litany of horrible crimes that I've seen to kind of gloss over, he's generally regarded as the stinkiest stain of an already messy portion of the tapestry that is Chinese history. The only remaining question is if one can truly separate the art from the artist. During his rule, Time magazine described him as China's basest warlord. I'll let you decide whether or not they forgot the DE. That's all for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and I'm hiding in your fridge.
Oh.
Okay, well, we're gonna go check on that. I enjoyed this so much. It's like the zing at the start of it, because I haven't seen an episode for so long.
Yeah.
Felt like I was kind of worried about it. Like, oh man, I kind of see this coming. We know where it's going. And like always, he knows what you're thinking. He's in your head. Mm-hmm. He's just like, this is what you guys are here for. We're about to get into it. Don't fucking worry about it. So I just want to point out here that he has a vlog channel. And I do believe that we brought this up before. I feel like this has come up before and he didn't upload to it. And that seems to be
still the case.
The same situation. Yep. That seems to be about accurate. So you still can't know what he's up to in his everyday life. Wow, I thought there was some hope there. Any closing thoughts from the Chinese warlord?
The horse meat joke was really funny.
Fair. I think I would have liked it better if some of our southern generals were considered warlords, because even though the things they did were atrocious, at least they could have had like a cool title to go with it. You know, that kind of just like sums it all up. So that we can still study them without like trying to bury their past.
Right, yeah. We still talk about how awful they are.
Yeah, they're a warlord though, so we're like still kind of cool.
I don't know, maybe we want them to seem still kind of cool.
It's small on top and wide on the bottom.
How long have you been working on this? You
flip it upside down, longer than I'd like to admit. Built like your mama.
With those words of wisdom, we leave you.
He say what to do, they say what to do. Fuck all of y'all. Yeah.
How did you learn about the carrot and the stick metaphor?
They had a pig, and they had the stick tied to the pig's back, and they put the carrot on the front, and it ran around the farm.
But I'm saying, like, who told you about it?
Let me rephrase this. They took an actual fucking pig.
Who's they?
From the floor, put him on the ground, tied a stick to its back. Have you ever seen a pig with a stick tied to its back? Have you ever seen a grown man try to tie a stick to a pig's back with a carrot attached? And you want to know how it got the carrot, Jack? I'll tell you how it got the carrot. It rammed it into the side of the barn, stick first, breaking the stick and eating the carrot. I'm glad you asked.
And who did that?
Mr. Duty. He lived across the street.
Okay.
Now there, Buck. You know about that carrot and that stick?
So I was going to tell my story.
Sure, go ahead.
Because I thought you were going to have a normal thing to say.
I didn't. And I think about it all the time. Thanks for giving me a platform.
Never mind.
Okay.